Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Break Time with Pastor V. And I am glad that you are here today. And we're going to talk about joy and sorrow, or sorrow and joy. I have a feeling we kind of visited this before, but today in a quiet time, I had a devotional that I was reading. I came across it, and so I thought that I would share it with you because it so blessed me. Hello, Belinda and Shannon. Good to see you here this afternoon. And so, as I was saying, and the rest of you who've joined, I just wanted to be a blessing to you, share something with you that was a blessing to me. Hey, Jessica, how are you? Hey, you guys, you need to check out Jessica Bell. She has a YouTube page. Was it Just Be? Type in what it is, Jessica, so I can do it. I just click on it, and they're awesome. So just a huge blessing. We're going to try to get our way onto Zion Temple's page, right, Jesse? Anyway, but thank you for being here as I share this, and I'll come back and try to make sure I give you Jessica's information before we're done. So I'm doing this thing through YouVerse, a daily Bible app, and I'm way behind. It had this Advent calendar, but I wanted to finish it. And God's timing with everything is just amazing to me. Jesse's called Jess Be Me. It's JESS_B_ME. Jess Be Me. And so check it out. They're great. And so anyway, as I was doing that, they had a thing. I'm just going to read to you. I'm not creating anything. I just want to read to you how God blessed me. It has a couple of questions, and I'm going to share with you of how you can be blessed by it as well. It says, biblical joy is a profound decision of faith and hope in the power of Jesus' life and love. When you believe that Jesus' love has overcome death itself, joy becomes strangely reasonable even at the darkest circumstances. This doesn't mean you should ignore or suppress sorrow. That's not healthy nor necessary. Paul often expressed his grief over missing loved ones or his own freedom. He called it being full of sorrow, yet full of rejoicing. That's amazing in itself, right? Full of sorrow and full of rejoicing. As he acknowledged his pain, he also made a choice to trust Jesus that his loss wouldn't have the final word. So as acknowledge your pain, would you make the decision to trust God that your loss wouldn't have the final word? There's a verse in 2 Corinthians 6:10, and it reads thusly. It says, I pressed the wrong thing, I think. Yeah. It says, it's kind of into the verse, it says, sorrowful, yet rejoicing, yet always rejoicing, poor, yet making many rich. As having nothing, yet possessing everything. And so as Paul wrote that, let me go back here because it has some questions I want to ask. Hello, guys. Yeah. Sorry about that. And so as Paul did that, it asked a question, and I want to challenge you with this question. Can you recall a time in your life when you were full of sorrow, yet could still fully rejoice? If so, how would you describe that experience? Now, it's a little much. You can write in the chat, or you can think about it and write it later. And I want to share a moment with you that I experienced that, just being full of sorrow and yet fully rejoicing at the same time. And it was when my dad died. It was devastating, yet there was a sense of joy. And at the same time, for those of you who know me, you may know that my dad had meningioma. He had a brain tumor that was taken out several times, but it kept growing back. It wasn't cancerous. But the doctors had told us that there's really nothing else that they could do, that it would grow back, and that he would live for a while in this state of being like an invalid, and we would have to take care of him, basically, is what he said. But one Sunday morning, January 6th, none of that happened. My dad died. He died while taking a shower, and I got the call. And so while I was shocked, and I was so sad, I remember cleaning his house, removing the things from his apartment, and just lying in the middle of the floor. And there was a song that every time it comes on now, it takes me back to that spot. Yolanda Adams. And just the verse, a couple lines in the verse says, all alone, I don't know what to do. Alone in a room. It's just me and you. Right? And she says, I'm crying out to you. Lord, I don't know what to do. And I remember that song just playing and crying, but at the same time thanking God that none of the things that the doctor had said would happen happened. It was as if God just said, come home. There was no suffering. There was no pain. There wasn't the loss of dignity of having someone else have to take care of you and do everything for you and moving you out of your house and being in a hospital bed. And so God was so gracious. And so that was my moment of being really at the same time full of sorrow and yet being full of joy at the same time. And so I just thank God for that. I pray that many of you, if you've had that situation, that you can be a testimony to other people, and that you would share understand the possibility of being full of sorrow and full of joy because of who we serve. God is just an awesome God, and He makes that possible. Without Him, it won't happen. So that's Break Time with Pastor V today. My prayer is that if you're now or if you ever experience times of sorrow, that you would have the pleasure of knowing God's joy at the same time. The next instructions were to take a moment now to pray to God, thank Him for His joy that can outlast the fiercest of pain. Invite Him to teach you how to rejoice in the midst of suffering. Be honest with Him about where you are struggling and ask Him for what you need. Let me just say, be honest with Him where you're struggling and let Him know what you have need of. Sometimes we think that if we tell God certain things that, it's not holy, or that we're going to make God angry, or that God's going to be unpleased with us, not be pleased with us. Well, let me ask you, what can you tell God that He doesn't already know? Nothing, right? So, listen, God is okay with it. Whatever you say to God is not going to diminish who He is. It's not going to change His character. And He's not tripping with us. So, He wants us to be able to fully express the emotions that we're having and to learn to trust Him for healing in those emotions. Our emotions aren't bad. They're given by God. Right? And so He wants us to invite Him on the journey of experiencing the healing of walking through them. All right. That's it for real this time. God bless you. Don't forget to check out my girl, Jessica, on YouTube. Jess, JESS _ B_me. Thank you. Share this with somebody. Be a blessing to them. Check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Zion Temple. Have a great day. God bless you.